Hello there. Today I'm taking a look at a California sparkling wine. So this is Roederer Estate Brut from the Anderson Valley. So California wine, but made by a champagne house with 200 years worth of history. It was in 1982 that Roederer invested in a 360 acre estate in the Anderson Valley in Mendocino, so about 125 miles north of San Francisco, in an area cooled by evening fogs and proximity to the Pacific Ocean, where it was possible to grow high quality fruit for their sparkling wine. Today they've got about 620 acres in total, and all the fruit they use comes from their own vineyards, and that gives them the ability to control fruit quality. And of those 620 acres, evidently about 100 of those are farmed organically and biodynamically, but even those that aren't are farmed with sustainability in mind. So, I mean, for instance, Roederer have a project where they ensure that they are completely sustainable with regard to fish and how their actions influence the cleanliness of the rivers, and therefore with this entire sort of holistic sustainability idea. So the production of the wine is very much as you'd expect. It's very much as you would make a top quality champagne. So the fruit is hand picked, it's pressed as whole bunches to give the cleanest juice, and in fact they only use what they would call the first pressing. So what in champagne you'd call the ties, the tails, are discarded. So you're using the juice that has the best sugar, the best acidity, and the most elegant flavours by doing that. The juice ferments in stainless steel tanks, and malolactic conversion is blocked to ensure that the crispness of the acidity is maintained, and they believe that that ensures that the wine ages better as well. Blending is a very important factor in ensuring the quality of the wine. Here they'll blend somewhere between 100 and 200 different lots of wine to establish the style. Firstly, the varietal blend tends to be about 60% Chardonnay and about 40% Pinot Noir. But included in that blend is somewhere between 10 and 15% of reserve wine. And true to the way that Roederer make their wines in France, they're aging that reserve wine in large, somewhere between 1,200 and 1,800 litre oak casks for 4 years. So that's adding a sort of a nutty complexity from sort of slow oxidation. It's not actually adding oak character, because these would be older oak casks, but it's adding complexity. It's almost sort of like a delicate sort of sherried note put into the wine to add sort of richness and roundness to the fruit. So that's included both in the blend, and also reserve wine is used at the stage at which the wine is given its dosage, its sweetness, when it comes to be corked, once the yeast is taken out. So the wine spent 2 years in their bottle with the yeast lees from second fermentation in the bottle to give the fizz, as you would for any methode traditionnelle, but certainly for champagne. Once the yeast is removed by the process of remoulage, the wine is then bottled with a slight topping up with this reserve wine, and brought up to 10 grams per litre residual sugar to balance it, and that's still allowed to be called a brew. Also, as far as labelling is concerned, as far as I can see, I bought this while I was on a stopover in the United States. There is another brand that looks almost exactly the same called Quartet. My deduction is that Quartet is a bottling that's sold of the same wine that's sold outside the US, and it's labelled as Roederer Estate within the US. So let's have a look at the wine, shall we? I mean, first of all, it's got a lovely pale lemony yellow colour there. There are very fine bubbles rising. The aromas are fantastic, actually. How are they? So there's a mineral note, there's lemony crispness. It's very fine, and there's a sort of behind all that, there's the starts of a sort of a brioche yeastiness, slight toastiness, but all that is backed by this sort of lifted, lemony, maybe slightly appley acidity. There's plenty going on in there, and that's a absolutely beautiful nose. So let's taste. On the palate, it's got lovely crisp acidity. That's the fact that malolactic conversion is blocked, gives that sort of crisp, tart edge to the acid. There's a greenness. Also, the fact that the blend is predominantly Chardonnay is giving sort of a forward, elegant intensity to the wine. But at the same time, there's richness later on developing on the palate. Richness coming from the Pinot Noir elements in the blend, and also the reserve wine that's included in the blend. The flavours are lasting beautifully. My taste buds are tingling at the back of my mouth, and I'm salivating because of that lovely crisp acidity. This is a wine which, you know, has the crispness to be served as an aperitif, but also has a complexity and a richness that would put it, you know, beautifully with canapes of smoked salmon or something like that. There's enough for it to complement light foods very nicely, and the flavours are lasting so well. I can still taste it. It's, you know, several seconds have passed since I spat the wine. So yes, this was Roederer Estates. They say non-vintage, but actually probably multi-vintage because of this inclusion of the reserve wines in there. Sparkling wine from the Anderson Valley, a lovely product of Anderson Valley AVA fruit, coming with French expertise. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you find this interesting. I hope you'll join us again for another tasting very soon. Do please leave your comments, do like and share the video, and do sign up to follow us on YouTube. That would all be great. Thanks again. Bye now.